Hey everybody, welcome back to my garage. It's December, 2 weeks till Christmas, so today is the 15th. And we had some snow and we're gonna get a lot of rain tomorrow. So that's New England for you, snow one day, rain the next. So all is well. I hope everyone's doing great out there. Thanks for tuning back to the channel. We're still working on the roof here. And I got a lot of great comments, and I actually got one great idea from a guy who started, and he'll know who he is when I say this, he started, I got to put my 2 cents in. So he understood that this is my first chop, and I'm not afraid to say it. So it's been nerve-wracking to say the least, but I think we're moving along in good shape here. But, you know, I originally thought, well, how am I going to get the B pillar back, you know, even where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be attached to this window, and then the door window frame goes in here. So I thought, well, of course, I'll just cut it over here and slide it back. But then I'll have, you know, a 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch patch up here, and I'm gonna have to, you know, come all the way under here and around. And I'm gonna have to weld one side, weld the other side, and that's a ton of welding. You got probably, you know, a foot plus of welding, plus all this under here, you know, on both sides. And of course, the less you have to weld, the better off you are for not warping your metal and all that, because, you know, you get a lot of heat, and we all understand that. So he said, cut the B pillar here, move it back, and then I just have to do a repair, you know, weld under here, which is already in a crease. So this will be an easy spot to hide it in, because you're not gonna, you know, grind this all off here and you're not gonna see it. I'm like, you know what? That makes total sense. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna cut this B pillar here, bring it back, weld it on, and that's today's job. We're gonna get this cut back. I'm gonna show you what I did. I did weld the A pillars in place. And I put some wood in the back here and got this jacked up where it's supposed to be. And you know, we're pretty straight. As you look at it in here, we're you know, kind of like right on the money here, you know. And so this roof line is where it was originally, you know, when they built the car. So once we pull this back, then we can start addressing all this up here. I was looking at what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to still have to cut maybe another inch off of here to bring this roof a little forward and connect all this. So we'll see as we go. Again, it's an earn while you learn project. I am learning as I go here, and it's not easy. What are you doing? So anyway, my helper doesn't have much to say today, so I'm going to move him out of the way. One of our Halloween props. You got to love this guy, right? With the crazy eyes. So let's take a look at what we're doing. And again, thanks for coming back. Thanks for all the subscribers. I got a couple hundred new subscribers, and all is going well. So let's check it out, guys. So I welded up, I TIG welded these, and you can see where this, you know, I'll have to fill this in afterwards with more weld, but I welded around to the corner. On this side, I actually blew out here, which is hard to see now because I repaired it. But I had my TIG welder blowing sideways like this. I worked across, I'm a lefty, so I worked this way, holding the TIG welder in my hand like this, going across. And I blew out this side, but that's where, you know, having the MIG welder, I could fill that in easily and then grind it down. So it's nice to have the TIG and the MIG, because they both have their purpose, which is a whole nother video. And this is the other side here. And again, just, you know, it's just roughed in for now. And then I'll go back and I'll use the TIG and I'll fill all this in, because I was trying to fill voids as I went and then just ground it down quick. And and that's it. So for right now, it's good enough for now. So here is this side. So we found out when we took this side apart. Of course, I did the practice run over here, and this is just MIG welded intact, but all this Bondo was on here, and there's a big dent. Of course, they couldn't pound that dent out. They could have probably drilled it and used a puller, but all these little repairs I got to do to make that work. And then, these lines I got to screw around with afterwards, and still got a long way to go. So here's the window kind of half-assed in place. This was how it came out, that 1 inch that I cut off of everything. So this is just set in place. All right. And it's forward here. So I am going to have to put a little notch cut in it, or a little cut in it, separate it, and infill with another piece of window that I cut out from either side. I can make it work somehow, and just make a piece to make that work. So the window, of course, we got gap issues and 100 different things going on. But I think this side was banged, or they had an accident or something. Because you can see all this Bondo, Bondo Billy. They called him in and bondoed it up. So this shit's about a 1/4 inch thick here. So all this has to be ground off, figure out what's going on, and bang this all back together. So, 1935 stuff. So this was, I cut this, put this inside. So I cut this one up here, see? So there's the space we're left with. There, just put my finger in, so it's about a little over a 1/2 inch thick. And then slid it back, tacked it in place, tacked it onto here, see? And now that will be my window opening, So it's cool, coming along, for sure. And again, this was this Bondo everywhere. There's Bondo in this, see all this Bondo up here? So this car had someone did a bang up job on that car. I threw the hood on also so you could get a visual with the hood on. I'll move this MIG welder out of the way. And now you can see what we're starting to look like with the hood on, and it's coming along. Couldn't be happier with it at this point. So let's get rolling on slicing and dicing and get this part put back in. All right, what is the best side for you guys? I'm a lefty, so I'm going to get you over here. And we'll get at it. Yes, 2 weeks till Christmas. I hope everybody is going to have a good Christmas. If not, hey, try to have a good Christmas, or at least have a good New Year. And don't worry, be happy. All right, get it done. Let's see if that did it. And it did. So there's the internals. The other side was pretty screwed up. You can see there's some wood in there, right? Because that's a wood that was in there for nailing all their upholstery on. So we'll see if we can just move it back. If we get that lucky today. Got some other stuff hanging out of it here. I can grind that off. Or snip it off. See where you're at. It's like fine dental work. I don't have my microphone in. I'm going to plug the mic in. Been one of those days. Had people stop by. We were yakking. I wanted to get this video done. I never got that far. So let me see if I can plug my mic in. We're under the gun. Testing, testing. Hopefully it's working. I have no idea. We'll see when the video's done. So we have to clean this up. Let me get my sander and get that cleaned up. Using a little 80 grit on a an orbital sander. We'll put this piece down. We'll do this piece here. All the other stuff we'll do from the inside after. Get rid of this. This back up. I gotta clean that for ground. Some grounding. Okay. So anyway, the dude who told me about this idea, I have to thank very much. And I've got to clean this all up here for weld. So I didn't get that until that point. When he told me that, I'm like, aha. Howdy do. It worked in my head. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So, anyway, one thing, I don't know if you guys use these magnets at all, but I find them very handy. Kind of pulls everything together. We're doing some precision screwing around here. That's better. That's better. All right. I don't know if you noticed, I always say all right now. I don't know why. All right now. So I have a straight edge here. Doing some master manipulating. I think what I'm going to do, put a tack right here, and then we can move things around. So let's get that going. We'll get the welder over here. Get your ground on. You got to have ground for your welder to work. Must be well grounded. Come on now. You ever have one of those days, 12 in a row? Come on. One thing about these grounds is they can be part of the problem of trying to get things lined up. Ow, you son of a nutcracker. All right. That's enough to piss off the good humor man. All right, we're good. Don't forget to turn your gas on and turn it off at night. Otherwise, it'll leak out and cost you. Okay, now. What's up with that? All right, that's pretty close. Pretty close is good. Good enough for government work. Turn down my heat. Turn up my heat. That's some thin steel, Henry. All right, that'll hold it in place while we get the roof lined up. And as you can see, tacking is pretty ugly. When you TIG weld, it's flows like a puddle, so it feels a lot better. So we have to anyway to clamp that in. Let's take a mallet, a rubber mallet somewhere. Here it is. And we will try to get this lined up a little better. Let's see something. I'm going to shut the door. Now, one guy said that his father used to weld the doors together first and bring the roof down to it, and I just can't find that like it would work at all. But I'm trying to figure it out as I go. So I guess everyone's got their own methods. So if it's hard to see for you or not, but so we're kind of lined up there. Everything's got to be messed with. So I'm thinking weld this up in here where it's supposed to be, and just try to drag that other piece up as I can. Everything hides in the drip line, so this piece up here we can cut and bend up a hair, or just use the old horse it method. Horse it! So let's try the horse it method. Open this door, because when I did the other side, I had a weld bead go in this door there, and I must have been crap in the bottom. I had a little fire. We got it out. All right, let's put a bead in here. A bead. Try it. All we can do is do it wrong. Then we'll come back and do it again. I still say that this that could be jacked up here. So I used a little Yankee ingenuity to jack that up, and I'll try to get this thing welded in. I know the best view for you guys, but we'll try. And I did have my eyes shut when I was welding, so in case you were wondering. Having a tough time with the welder today. Everything wants to burn through. Okay. So I'm hoping that's got us lined up. It looks pretty good. Now, try to get this tacked together. All right. Let's see if this holds. One of those days. Let's see what we got. All right, held in place, which is good. Plug that inside. Move this around. So if you don't get it by now, there's a lot of screwing around, fidgeting, moving stuff, forgetting where you put the last thing you put down. So all this still has to be adjusted because this is barely going in and out. Hitting the bottom trim. So, lots of things to mess around with. Well, here's the door. So as you can see, all right. So there's the door trim, but you can see how this overhangs by a little bit under here. So right here, you see how it's back from the door jamb there. So we're going to have to take and cut this here and separate it. And I thought I had parts. I have other parts laying around, but I thought I had some small pieces. I think there's one on the other side. Oh, that's not one. That's not a door piece. So, turns out I don't think I have any door pieces. I do not. So we're going to have to cut this and then make a piece to go in here and elongate this just a hair. Because the front seems to fit pretty well. Yeah, got to add about 3/8 or so of an inch. So again, something to ponder. Hey, if anybody has any great ideas like the last guy, please send it along. So for now, here's where we're at. We have to, this roof section, but you can see how it is pretty much touching down here. Ow, sliced again. So I think what we're gonna have to do is cut a section off here and pull this roof forward, which I'm good with that because it'll close that window up just a hair more. But I've got like an inch here, of course we'll measure that. And then we'll do the inch here, pull this forward. We'll have to notch this again, which this is high, so hopefully it'll get us down a little lower to tie up these spots here together. So if I take that inch here to tie this together up top, and then again, this is low here. So by taking that inch, it's gonna get me closer as we get that together. The drip rail will be pretty close, but again, I have to mess around with it. And that's that. The other side, we got the same setup here. So this is almost, together. We're like an inch apart up here. So we'll have to take that inch, see how we're high here. And this whole thing, I'm being held up by metal here. So now we're a little closer down here. So by taking that inch out, I'll be getting even that much closer to getting these two tied together. I'll be close enough where I can notch this a little, drag it down, make it work. So pretty darn happy the way it's coming out. Here's the door piece for over here. So, coming along. So now we're down to, let's get this back roof tied together. I think, and the one guy also had said on the video, he thought the rear was jacked up too high, which I believe it was also, and I put these boards in here at a lower level. So now I think the roof is level where it's supposed to be, you know. So I think it's looking good. I put the hood on there so you get a better look. But I think we're looking pretty darn good. I mean, you know, closer than we've ever been. I didn't mention in the second video, the first video, when I cleaned this whole thing out in the trunk, I had found all these trims and bleeding here. So I gotta wipe that up. You don't want to see that. So I found all these trim pieces, an extra hubcap, the rear view mirror, which needs a little help for sure, but it's the original, so I may try to work with it. The visors that have to be redone, but it's the original visors. Those are there. This is all the window trim. So I got all the trim for the thing to redo the fit inside. So for people who watch this for the first time, here's the rear window trim. I'm going to put this back in the hooey here. All right, so here's a good one. So here's the rear window trim. This is how much we've taken out of this project. I don't know if that'll hold that up or not. Check that out. So that's how much we shortened that thing down. We took 20 inches, and it's going to be 21 inches before we're done out of the rear end of this thing. And that's pretty cool. I'm glad I found these, because these are huge to have. And also found a Henry Ford grease gun, which, if you don't know, the grease fittings on these cars just came flat. They didn't have the ball on them, where the grease guns we use now has a spring in it, and it clips over that ball. It holds it, and then you pump your grease in. These were just like a bottom of a funnel, basically. You just push it on and you horsed it in there. So I don't know if they got really greased as well as they should have back in the day, but you know, the new modern ball joints certainly do a better job. So that's where we're at for today. I wish we could have got more done, but it all takes time, and I'm the only guy here, so I'm running the camera, and I don't edit. I just, you know, shoot live. I do pause so I can do other things and try to keep the video as interesting as I can for you, and that's it. So on the next one, we're going to cut these sides down, get this thing closer. In the meantime, I'm going to try to get these all welded in, so we're holding the way we should. The door tops, I may mess around with you guys so you can see how I wrestle through that. If anyone has any ideas for me, you know, I'm thinking about cutting this thing and just going like this and fill it in the middle. But if someone has a better idea, please let me know. Again, like I've said multiple times, my first shot, and I should probably get a Band-Aid at this point. So thanks for coming back, everybody. This is episode 4 on this roof job, and hopefully in episode 5 we'll be able to get this thing put together, and then we'll start working on cutting the back of this thing down and making a plan for there. I've got to order some steel. I'm going to order some 18 gauge steel and some 3/4 inch angle, and we'll start forming this back end in and come up with a plan for that. So hey, have a great day. I probably see you before Christmas, but If not, for some reason, everyone have a great Christmas, but hopefully we will. So thanks again for coming back, and I'll talk to you soon.